What's up, everybody? Big Cheds coming to you live Friday night. Hope everybody's doing good. I see a couple people in the chat room. Bud Thompson, S Swartz. Just wanted to touch base with you guys. It's pretty brutal out there right now, and I think it's important for us to take a few moments, maybe step back, take a look at what's going on, and maybe you guys give me a couple chart requests. And we can kind of see where we're at. So I'll just kind of start out right now, just give you my quick thoughts. I'll put a Bitcoin chart up on the daily. Clearly we're in a pretty brutal downtrend here. So we had the Winklevoss ETF rejection here, 24th roughly, maybe I think right about there. And then we just had the ETF delay a few days ago, maybe right about there. So we were kind of starting to rally after something like 8 days in a row, and kind of scalpers, people who like to flip, quick buy and sell moves. Pardon me. After 8 days, I mean, you're bound to have some type of a mercy bounce, and some people bought in for that. We put in a decent candle. You could call that a hammer. Unimpressive volume. And you had from there, I mean, there wasn't much. There was a little bit of a bounce, but that was shut down pretty quickly. And we have been working through a series of bearish continuation patterns. We just had a bear flag breakdown. You could probably also argue bear pennant if you want. Either way, it's a bearish continuation pattern that just broke down. We can see right here where we had the break, and we're kind of working through that right now. I was just on the phone with Big Jonas. We were talking about a couple things. We were talking about Litecoin is interesting. It's getting hit worse. Pardon me. It's getting hit worse than Bitcoin, and it's maybe it's interesting here, maybe it's not. That's 4 hour. Let's go daily. I mean, look where it is. This thing's really beat down. But of course, there's no reason why it couldn't go as low as like the low 30s here. What is the low of the day? Oh, 44. I mean, 32. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much anything is fair game here right now. We don't quite know. So we had the as I was talking about, the delay for Bitcoin, right? And a lot of the smart people I talk to think that's actually essentially could be a good sign, because they're studying it more seriously. It's not an outright rejection. So that's a kind of a bullish headwind. But it's a delayed headwind. So perhaps, I mean, I put a tweet out. I feel like I said, mother of all shakes is coming, something like that. I mean, it's kind of the sense I'm getting. This would be a great time to make that final shake. I mean, we're looking at crazy prices compared to where a lot of the money came into the market. And I understand the market's been around more than just since November, but just so many people are super stuck, and we're reaching historic support levels. I mean, just here in Bitcoin, so this is the volume profile. So just since November, and we're essentially below the meat. We're below the majority of the volume that's transacted, since November. So that's notable to me. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't mean it can't go another 10 or 20%, 10%, whatever percent lower. I did put a Shields Up call. I tweeted out Shields Up. Hopefully some of you caught that at 7,000 on the delay. So I mean, I wasn't higher, but I mean, you got your little savings there. I'm just gonna check out Ethereum, and then we'll go to the chat room. See a bunch of you are showing up. Let's see here, Ethereum. So yeah, I mean, we broke this key support here from April, and but we're right back in the zone. I mean, look at this right there on the volume profile. There's a lot of volume right in this low 300. So it's probably not terrible if you say you want to start scaling in here. I wouldn't really argue against that. Daily RSI is low, trading near horizontal resistance. Sorry, horizontal support. Logical support area. Oversold. On balance, okay. I mean, it looks okay. You just think, even if, I mean, look at the length of this bounce, right? Even if you only capture half of that, all right, whatever that is from, that's a pretty good bounce though. It's like a $400 bounce, so no reason you can't do like a $150 bounce from here at some point. Anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts. Nice to see you all in the chat room. Leonard, Justin, Jerry, everyone else, Adam, and Bud, Chris. So let's see. I know this is not Warcraft. I do apologize. I think some people left me because I was playing Warcraft, and they were so indignant. How dare you force me to watch this live stream? Although I wasn't forcing them, you know. But you know, this is what we're here for. I want to talk to you about the market, and I want to answer your questions. So who's got a request for me? I did LTC, EOS, long versus shorts. So in terms of the long versus short analysis, EOS shorts, EOS USD shorts, okay? And EOS USD longs. I mean, just from social media, you can see that people have been shorting this quite a bit. So here are the longs. Actually, it's a pretty healthy chart. If I was looking at this just like if it was a secure a coin or a token, you have I think I would call this a bullish consolidation pattern. And right now, I mean, look at the Bollinger Bands are getting pretty tight, and you're kind of reacting early to this Bollinger Band pinch with this really nice green impulse candle. I don't have a volume clue behind it to extrapolate perhaps as I might on something else. But shorts also are making strides. So this is kind of interesting. Just on the daily chart, they are both bullish. Clearly, the shorts have the lead right now, and these are just massive candles. And these candles, as you see it here, right? So these long green candles, this is classic, right? Comes back to the midpoint. Nissen talks about this in his second book, Beyond Candlesticks. So this long green candle often, so the whole range of support, but really starting from the middle of it to the lower wick, and you kind of see it catch support there. Here it broke, but these should be significant. If we're looking at this like a coin, I'd be saying these two candles are going to be significant going forward. So that was just kind of my thoughts on those two. Pedro's looking for. Let me go in order here. Bud Thompson's looking, I'm sorry, Crypto my friend, Juan, W-A-N. I'm going to go in order just so I can make it easier for me. Daily chart is weak. Looking for an oversold bounce. Maybe that's some okay, decent volume there. I kind of zoom in. I'm going to kind of go back to log mode. So it's a decent volume here, but you see we're really unable to break that middle Bollinger, the MA20 here. 1, 2, 3 attempts, oversold bounce perhaps, but the stochastics RSI, your short-term momentum oscillator, your short-term kind of oversold indicator is already overbought, and this is a kind of a weak bounce here in the on-balance volume, but it doesn't mean it's going to go straight down. But I'd say this is still weak. It's still weak. I'm sorry to report that WAN is still weak. I know you want the WAN USD chart, but it doesn't make sense if most of the time people are buying and selling this in Satoshis. So I think it makes sense to look at that price action where it's most being transacted. I'm going to go ahead and do next XMR, which I don't have on this particular setup. I'm going to go ahead and put in XMR, BTC, Monero. All right, so let's take a look at Monero. Yeah, I mean, everything's beat down. Let's go a little closer. Maybe there's a little more action. I mean, don't look at this. The on-balance volume is just still going down. Continued capitulation, oversold bounce, but you got nothing out of it here in the RSI. 4 hour. Yeah, I'd stay away from this one for sure right now. XLM, Pedro. XLM. So XLM recently had this nice impulse, and there was, I guess, rumor/news that Facebook met with them, and then I guess Facebook came out and said there's no partnership, but did they say there was no meeting? Either way, you can see clearly the bulls stepped in and attempted to really, kind of make a move here. It dealt with all this resistance. It actually broke it. It broke this whole area here. So that was actually notable. That was impressive. I don't know. Maybe it would have continued if not for the retraction from Facebook, but you see it broke this high, which would have suggested it would kind of move on to test this next high around like 3,900. Pardon me. But we clearly have a high wave candle, a spinning top. High wave meaning a long upper and lower shadow. You can kind of, the early clue here was on this. It's a beautiful green candle, but you can see it gave up. The bears essentially rejected higher prices, and the momentum, you know, really started to fall. And you can see with that long wick, and you know, you're way above the upper Bollinger Band. And on a 4 hour, I mean, that's usually a little dangerous to not trim your profits there. And you had a second shot here, inside bar, right? This is contained within this range, and this is a follow through. You could potentially be forming a 3 outside down, but there's some profit taking is the bottom line. If you're still holding, you want to be watching to see this level 34.36 to hold. That would make sense if there's going to be any kind of continuation. That doesn't work. I mean, you've got, like, this is pretty good, looks like pretty good support area at 31, and but like right here, so 33. I mean, I think it's safe I think this should be tested, probably will hold in the short term, is my opinion. Did ETH link LINK? I don't have link. I'll add it to the list. LINK BTC. Okay. All right. So nice little volume here on Link. You can see you have this little, bulls stepped in and kind of tried to take over the trend, and bears, you know, there's a little bit of a tug of war there. You could, what I'm kind of looking at here is, I'm going to show it to you guys right here. The sell volume wasn't that much. It's essentially like it was all the profit taking was absorbed, and it was able to make a new leg here. So you have these two really nice volume candles here. Let's see. So today just started. Essentially, it's only been a couple hours since 3 hours since the candle closed. So we don't know. It could be in the early stages of what's called advanced block or stalling pattern, which are continuation patterns. I'll see if I could just pull one up. Advance. So this is I am back. Sorry about that. So I think there's a decent chance for continuation here, but you're probably going to have to do some consolidation, kind of like we did here where we had that falling wedge consolidation. Let's take a look at the chat room for any more requests. And Jeremy Snow, ONT. Ooh, no good. I mean, just like there's no hint. There's not even a sniff of any kind of bullish action here. Look at this 8, the green line, the 8 exponential moving average just keeps rejecting it. So on the upside, you have a clear signal in my view. You see how we broke the 8 EMA here once, but with the candle wick on 8.8, but it couldn't close above it. So if you can close above this green line, that would be significant. It would be a first step towards a reversal. But right now, it just looks like it's in major trouble. Any more requests? Let's see. Can't hear me still. Can you hear me? It looks like you should. So I'm going to go ahead and move along. Can you please do ETC? I did ETC. Let's do ETC. I haven't done that one yet. Okay, thanks. Sorry, folks. I apologize for all the... Our regular producer took the night off. Ethereum Classic. Looks like we just have a few more. We can get them done for you. Ethereum Classic. So... this was the original bell of the ball when they said it was going to be listed on Coinbase. I guess they started accepting transfers a few days ago. Clearly, on the daily chart here, this is when this was the build up to the Coinbase. Then there was the news here on 8/7 a few days ago saying we are now accepting transfers, and then you have the sell-off. So this is a classic buy the rumor, sell the news. And so you may ask yourself, you say, I don't understand, why are people selling now when it's on the platform, or when they're accepting the transfers? The reason why the price goes up beforehand is because it's absorbing the news. It's baking in the news. So you're already building in all the benefit of that listing ahead of time. That's why it's buy the rumor, sell the news. And we're essentially seeing that. So it's a question of where it's going to find support. There is no clear indication yet. You can look at logical support levels. We have candle, we have candle close back here. Computer's being a little weird, but we have a candle close exactly right here from June 16th, and that would be logical support. It was also the prior resistance from June 3rd. So I would kind of look to that level, honestly, and the same as this back here and back here. So this has been a very important level. So 2100, keep an eye on that, especially on the daily chart. That should factor in. EOS, I think I did EOS already. Perhaps I did not. EOS. Yeah, I did EOS. I did the shorts and longs. I haven't done the chart. Yeah, so EOS is having trouble. It has been so far unable to break the brown line, which is the middle Bollinger Band, the MA20. So we're going to keep an eye on that for any real indication of a reversing trend. We are oversold here. We're going to probably start seeing some bullish divergence soon with the RSI. You're already seeing it a little bit with a higher low versus the price, but it's not. We're not seeing it on the on-balance volume yet. Pardon me. So this one still has some ways to go, but I could see this bottom here in about a week or two. Let's see, XRP. XRP, Ripple. Yeah. I mean, look at this. It's just like people are just getting out. Look at all that. Look at that sell volume. So the bullish argument is for obviously the bullish divergence, higher lows. I've just said it a few times now. I'll go ahead and show you a chart. So basically you have the oscillator, in this case the stochastics RSI and the RSI with a higher low, price lower low. That's bullish divergence. Okay, but I'm not really impressed until I see it happen with the on balance volume. I find that RSI will give you more false signals for bullish divergence. Short term though, we are at the lower Bollinger Band, so that does favor a small bounce perhaps for Ripple. We're looking at support. Unfortunately we broke the support already, which you really wanted to hold from December 15th. So bulls are unhappy that that support is broken. And let's take a look at BAT. BAT. We'll just do just a couple more, folks. Pardon me. And BAT, basic attention token. Pardon me. So, yeah, it kind of looks. It's hard. I don't know. You could argue this would be a bearish continuation pattern here. This would be your flagpole. Pardon me. Maybe like a bear flag. But you are holding higher lows. I'm going to have a drink of water here. Just one second, please. All right. So the point I'm making is we do have higher lows. So there's a pretty good argument you're still in business, but what we're seeing now is an equilibrium pattern. We have our high, our lower high. Here's the high, lower high, higher low. Lower high, higher low, lower high here, higher low somewhere. I mean, so it's kind of working itself out. So if that's what we're doing, if it is an equilibrium pattern, you should probably see this sort itself out pretty soon, like in the next few days, would be my guess. On-balance volume is still pretty strong. I think this is still a good chart. I am a fan of it. ZRX. All right, ZRX. Also consolidation pattern. Pardon me, we have, I mean, this is clear, this is definitely with equilibrium. Your high, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. I mean, this thing actually is in a really interesting position. Wow. I think it looks great. I don't know about you guys. I think ZRX looks great. I mean, it looks like it's going to make a decision here pretty soon. I think it looks really good, actually. Let's just quickly go back to Bitcoin, and I will just sign off for tonight. I wanted to give you guys just a quick update. You know, it's been a while since we talked. Clearly, the daily chart is not looking good. Yesterday, we had a bearish engulfing candle. I mean, we had this really nice piercing pattern the day before. That was negated by the bearish engulfing yesterday, rather. Who knows what today will bring? But let's take a look at the 1 hour. Like we talked about before, or rather, I'll go 4 hour. We had a recent bear flag breakdown. This is our breakdown right around 6,400. We have 35 minutes left in this 4 hour candle. We have a spinning top. I guess you could argue a hammer if you want, because it is the lower shadow is twice the size of the real candle body. But either way, this candle body suggests a reduction of the prior bear force. We'll have to see how that plays out. We actually do have some divergence on the 4 hour bullish divergence with the on-balance volume and with the RSI. I'm probably going to tweet this when it's over. So yeah, that's I think it looks okay here for a short-term bounce, but you could still go one leg lower and kind of further develop that divergence. So we're seeing some early signs of a relief bounce, but we still need some time. I want to caution you on that. Once again, find me on Twitter at @BigCheds. If you haven't heard about it before, I want to tell you guys about Bitcoin Live. It's I believe the best in class educational platform for crypto, and I'm honored to be a part of it. There's some really great teachers, and we put out some great blog posts. There's very timely alerts. You know, we try to give actionable information. Everybody kind of gives their say, and you know, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for you if you're looking to be with like-minded people who are serious about the craft, serious about learning. And you know, if you have any questions, you know, reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you and take those questions. And once again, I would be careful out there. If you're not sure of a direction, if you're not sure exactly where it's going to go, I would wait till you find a really good spot. There's always time, you know, to make a good decision when you have the right information in front of you. And until that time comes, you know, maybe just sit back and watch and do some paper trading, and you know, until you feel more confident. In any case, hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon, and I wish you all well. Take care.